watching the South Texas News Leader. This is 3 News at 10.
Oh my God.
That is reaction tonight from family members and loved ones of the victims of the Uvalde school shooting, leaving the Nueces County Courthouse just a short time ago. Good evening, everyone. I'm Leslie Adamy.
I'm Mike Gillespie. Breaking news tonight. A verdict has been handed down in the trial of former Uvalde CISD police officer Adrian Gonzalez.
After deliberating for several hours this afternoon, that verdict dropping just before 7:30 this evening, the jury finding Gonzalez not guilty on all 29 counts tied to the failed response during the Robb Elementary shooting.
Yeah, that decision comes after weeks of emotional testimony from law enforcement, witnesses, and families.
Our Natalia Osuna joins us now here in the studio. And Natalia, you just got back from a full day there at the courthouse. Heavy days of testimony. Talk us through what were some of the other key takeaways from today.
Hey, Mike, Leslie. Well, after the defense and prosecution made their closing arguments from both sides earlier this morning, the jury deliberated for 7 hours and reached a verdict this evening. Ultimately, the jury determined Adrian Gonzalez is not guilty, much to the heartbreak of family members of the shooting victims. And it was a tense moment when Judge Sid Harrell announced the jury had decided Gonzalez is not guilty. Tears burst out in the courtroom on both sides of the gallery. On one side, we saw families clutching their crosses and holding their breath, and on the other side, Gonzalez and his family hugged each other and attorneys in celebration. Over the course of this trial, Adrian Gonzalez did not take the stand, but he did speak tonight, at least publicly for the first time, shortly after receiving that not guilty verdict. The defense team at his side, here's what he said.
Adrian, what does moving on look like to you?
Just picking up the pieces and moving forward. That's it.
After Judge Harrell read the jury's verdict, we caught up with family members of the victims and asked them what was running through their minds in that moment. Juanita and Julissa Rizzo have been at the Nueces County Courthouse for the trial since the very beginning.
The system failed the children, the teachers, again, over and over again. They keep freaking failing us. I want to say two things. We want justice for Jackie. And I want to say another thing is that there was 2 monsters on May 24th, and one was a shooter and the other was a monster that never went in and could have avoided this.
It's been 3 years since tragedy struck that day at Robb Elementary, killing 19 students and 2 teachers. As someone who's been covering this trial over the last 2 weeks, it was emotional from beginning to end, as you just heard from those family members. And families of the victims seem to agree that justice was not served today. Gonzalez's defense team said that some gaps in the prosecution's evidence further, a lot of emotions today at the courthouse, and they said again, the defense saying that they further showed those gaps in the prosecution's evidence. But again, a lot of emotions, and we're back today to bring you the latest. Leslie, Mike.
All right, thank you for that, Natalia. And of course, you saw the strong reaction from family members there. Now, when asked by reporters if he had any message for the families of the victims earlier tonight, the man at the center of this case did say no, not right now.
Alongside his team, Adrian Gonzalez, though, taking a few moments, to offer thanks for his defense team and family. Take a listen.
First things first, I want to start by thanking God for this. My family, my wife, and these guys are here. He put them in my path, and I'm just thankful for that. And thank you for the jury for considering all the evidence and making that verdict.
Is there anything you want to say to the families?
No, not right now.
And as you heard earlier, when asked about what the future holds, Gonzalez said it's about picking up the pieces and moving forward. Of course, the other major story that we are watching, along with most of the state, is the winter weather that will soon be moving in.
A very strong front is expected this weekend, and now is the time to start game planning for it.
And for more, why don't we go ahead and hand it over now to Chief Meteorologist Carly Smith.
Yeah, Leslie and Mike, we are carefully watching big changes coming up. But first, tonight, I do want to make sure you're aware we've got some patchy dense fog that's going to impact your morning commute. It will be mild and muggy with calm conditions. We are still in a warm pattern that's going to be with us tomorrow. We actually will have a little bit of an east-northeast wind, which may keep our temperatures very similar to where they were today. As we look ahead to Friday, though, highs nearing 80, not out of the question. Similar conditions, though, tomorrow with skies breaking, clouds breaking into the afternoon. We also could reach 80 tomorrow, but it will be a close call overall. Now, here's your current temperatures. Rain is moving out of the coastal bend, and any chance of rain, that is moving out of the coastal bend. There is a weak front. It's going to weaken and kind of dissipate. That's why we get that weak east-northeast wind in play tomorrow. But what we are really watching is this Arctic air that's already starting to make its way across portions of the northern United States. You see the temperature in Bismarck, North Dakota right now, 8 degrees. This is the air that's going to make its way into Texas later on. Another important key player is an upper level low. That's going to help bring warm and humid air from the Pacific up into Texas. That is very important. We don't get rain, much less winter precip, unless we have both things, Arctic air and moisture coming out of the Pacific, and both of those are going to be in play. But this is extra cold air. We're talking record cold temperatures possible across Texas and even here in the coastal bend. As we look ahead to Monday, the current record is 23 degrees. That was set way back in 1897. We're currently forecasting 25. As these winter events tend to unfold, odds are we'll continue to get colder with our temperatures. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, one thing I really want you to take away from this forecast is that our wind chills are going to be dangerously cold, especially for this region, right? We talked about how Bismarck, North Dakota is an air temperature of 8 degrees right now. They'll probably be kind of laughing at our dangerously cold temperatures, but for us, we're not used to it. So when our wind chill gets down to 18, 15, or even 25, that's going to be tough for us to handle. We've got to dress properly, cover up your skin. But that is why the National Weather Service has issued an extreme cold watch for the coastal bend. That's going to be in place from Saturday evening through Monday afternoon. Much of Texas also in that extreme cold watch, but travel expected to be impacted because of icy conditions and then possibly snow. A winter storm watch already in place for areas north of I-10, and that starts as early as Friday. We could see those travel hazards. So just to kind of give you an idea of the timeline, once we get to Friday, freezing rain expected to start with some sleet mixing in across portions of the Texas Panhandle. That will expand north toward the East Coast into portions of Virginia. On top of that, there's going to be some snow to the north mixing in with the freezing rain. And then for us here in South Texas, we are tracking rain. The timing of the rain with that Arctic air is something we are keeping a close eye on for Sunday morning. We'll break down some more of those impacts and the chance for some freezing drizzle here coming up in your complete forecast ahead. Leslie, Mike.
Carly, thanks for that. And Governor Greg Abbott is mobilizing statewide resources for this. Here in the coastal bend, TxDOT crews are already preparing roadways ahead of the bitter cold. Crews are filling trucks with brine, a saltwater solution used to help prevent ice from forming, with bridges and overpasses the top priority. Needless to say, we of course have some pretty major bridges here in our area. The Harbor Bridge, JFK Causeway, and Nueces Bay crossings are being pre-treated, followed by highways including I-37, Highway 77, and US 281.
Here our crew is hooking up the brine tank. That's a brine tank. It holds 20,000 gallons. The developer is going to brine the Harbor Bridge. TxDOT will brine other structures in the immediate area. That includes the JFK, Nueces Bay Causeway, and the Nueces River Causeway.
Also, City of Corpus Christi crews, you just heard from TxDOT, but city crews are also standing by with new de-icing equipment, and barricades will be pre-staged in case road closures are needed. And as Carly just mentioned, she'll have your full forecast coming up in here in just a few minutes. But much more straight ahead on this 3 News at 10, including new concerns out of Jim Wells County, where commissioners say that illegal dumping just isn't slowing down.
Yeah, they're talking about adding tougher restrictions because too many people are just ignoring the rules. Find out what changes could be coming. You're watching 3 News at 10.
Got something you think we should know? If you see news happening, tell 3.
When big companies cause big problems, we get big results. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust.
Built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere.
Right now, qualified lessees can lease a rugged new 2026 Tundra SR5 for $519 a month for 36 months. Offer ends February 2nd.
Toyota. Let's go places.
In July the 21st of 2023, I was T-boned. Turned out to be a hit and run. The driver took off. I called Herman & Herman right away. They got my case settled within 4 months. They called, I think maybe once a week until it was done and settled. They let me know, hey, if you need anything, we're here. And I felt like I mattered big time. Yeah, if someone's been in an accident, I would highly recommend Herman & Herman.
Herman & Herman are always putting you first.
Got a question? Got something that needs a solution? Got something you think we should know? If you see news happening, then it's time to tell 3. You can always email us at tell3@KIIITV.com. Connect with us and tell 3. Don't miss out. Scan the square. It's all right there. Scan our QR code and download the 3 News app today. 3 News, known and trusted.
Hi, it's Christina again. I'm here to tell you about an all-new special offer. Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has a design you'll love at a price you can afford. We're waiving all installation costs and postponing all payments for up to 1 year. And best of all, they can install it in as little as 1 day with no stress and no mess. Take advantage of this special TV offer today.
Go to jacuzzibathremodel.com or call 800-255-9365.
The 7-Day Forecast, sponsored by the Heil Law Firm, battling for justice, winning for the community.
Well, tonight, leaders in Jim Wells County are calling for tougher rules when it comes to illegal dumping. While some progress has been made, they tell us that people are still unlawfully ditching items like mattresses and tables.
This comes after the county already passed their no litter ordinance back in November to help combat this issue. Our Josh Maxwell spoke with county leaders about the efforts they want to see moving forward and how much it's costing taxpayers.
The topic of illegal dumping is nothing new in Jim Wells County, but the level of consistency is a point of concern for one county leader.
People are supposed to abide by the ordinance that we have in place, and some do, most of them do, but a lot of them don't.
Jim Wells County Precinct 1 Commissioner George Aguilar talking about the ongoing issue of people dumping trash. He says that last year, the county paid $52,000 in landfill fees for debris alone, something he says takes away from important projects.
We tell them that we want to see improvement. Why? If we see improvements on that aspect of it, whether it be illegal dumping, abatements, nuisances, we can dedicate more time to repair our county roads.
It's not getting any better.
Jim Wells County resident Flora Gonzalez says as someone who calls the area home, she wants residents to be more aware of where they leave their trash.
Like, what are they thinking? Like, can they just go throw it where it belongs, or have someone come pick it up, but not just throw it anywhere.
Aguilar says he wants tighter enforcement and is open to more communication with other agencies. It's an issue he raised during the January 9th commissioners meeting, where he questioned what he described as a lack of enforcement from the Jim Wells County Sheriff's Office. We reached out to the Sheriff's Office to clarify where law enforcement stands on the matter. In a written response to Aguilar, the office said, quote, "Illegal dumping is a legitimate county-wide issue. That fact is not disputed. What is disputed is the implication that the persistence of illegal illegal dumping results from inaction by the sheriff's office. The order narrowly defines what constitutes a public nuisance, including time thresholds, visibility requirements, and location constraints. Not every unsightly condition, abandoned vehicle, or roadside object qualifies as a nuisance under the adopted definition. Enforcement must meet those criteria before action may be taken. Josh Maxwell, 3 News.
All right. In short, don't be that person.
Yeah, don't be that person. There's a lot of trash
then we'll
out
have
there.
to do a story about you.
Yeah.
It's not, no, it's unsightly.
Not just Jim Wells County, by the way.
Yeah,
but
yeah. It's an issue, as they mentioned, as Josh mentioned in the story, county-wide and beyond.
Yeah.
Right? No, a big story that you were watching, Carly, is this massive cold front that we have coming our way.
Yeah, big Arctic blast of air. On top of that, major travel issues expected, not necessarily here, but just north of here. Icy conditions, snowy conditions.
Well, we got a lot of folks that on the weekends head up to San Antonio routinely.
And San Antonio, but San Antonio is still kind of a fringe area where if it's just a little bit warmer, then they're going to have fewer impacts. If it's a little bit colder, they're going to have major impacts. For us, it's our northern counties. It's I-37, the road to San Antonio. As you get closer to San Antonio, the risk of travel issues goes up. This road conditions forecast is specifically for the coastal bend, so it's as far north as Bee County, Live Oak County. What we are tracking is impacts potentially Saturday night. That would be the early arrival of some freezing rain. A likely arrival would be Sunday morning. That could linger into the afternoon if things don't get above freezing too fast. We are going a high of around 41 right now on Sunday, but that could change between now and then. And then as we head into Sunday night, there could still be some damp spots on the road if there's not enough evaporation because we don't see a lot of sunlight. And so that could allow for a few slick spots during the day or early morning hours on Monday, which could impact your Monday morning commute. This, I think, right now is the worst case scenario. There is a chance we don't see any freezing rain at all, but here in the coastal bend, the locations that will be at the greatest risk of having some ice accumulate are going to be our bridges and overpasses. So roads on the surface, they're getting heat emitted from the earth. We talk about that when we talk about radiational cooling, right? That heat being emitted from the earth keeps temperatures warm enough to melt a small glaze of ice. That's not the case on the bridges and overpasses. So that's where we're raising some concern. Right now, though, we're still warm and muggy and mild at 61 degrees. Fog is the issue early on your Thursday morning. So for Thursday, we're tracking some patchy dense fog. We also see that again into Friday. So Thursday and Friday morning, watch out for fog. The visibility may be around a quarter of a mile or less. It will be patchy, so it's not a guarantee across the area, but it's something you've got to be prepared for. 60 degrees there at 8 a.m. We get up into the 70s again tomorrow. We do have a little bit of a north wind, especially early in the morning. It's very light though, and then we'll see conditions shifting back out of the east-southeast as we head into the afternoon. We're still very warm overall. The front hanging out to our north. It's going to slide through Texas during the day on Friday. Freezing rain and wintry mix increasing Friday night into Saturday across the Texas Panhandle into Oklahoma and North Texas. The front almost stalls as a low essentially develops there in the West Texas region, but then it quickly moves through the coastal bend Friday night into Saturday morning. This is when our temperatures start to drop on Saturday. So Saturday should come with rain. It's overnight Saturday into Sunday that we could see some freezing rain sneak in as our temperatures fall. Now, one caveat to this forecast is the upper level low. It's going to be very dependent on where this sets up. The timing is important for how long we see rain that could transition to that freezing rain. If this upper level low gets moving to the northeast faster, things will dry out quicker. But if this upper level low hangs out over El Paso, that's going to keep pumping in Pacific moisture and keeps us with a better chance of freezing rain heading into Sunday. As we get into Sunday evening, most of the rain should slide offshore. High pressure starts to build, keeping our skies clear, but that's why we could see our coldest temperatures heading into Monday. So what should you do now? We've got 2 warm days still ahead of us, so think about what you need to do to prep your home. Think about wrapping your outdoor pipes. Start doing that now. If you're traveling out of town this weekend, go ahead and open the cabinets and drip the faucets, but you can wait on that if you're staying in town. Give the pets indoor shelter, cover plants, or bring them indoors. Finally, make sure your heater works. By Saturday, heat should be set above 55 degrees. Winter weather impact, freezing temperatures Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, so that continues into Tuesday morning. Freezing rain possible Sunday. The 4 Ps we just kind of talked about, dress warmly and limit travel. Most of the coastal bend is expecting a freeze, but the area with the best chance of that freezing rain is mostly to our north. And then finally, we'll get to that 7-day. I mentioned bridges and overpasses expected to freeze first, and that's what's most likely here in the coastal bend. And your 7-day forecast, weather impact Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday morning, Tuesday morning for those freezing temperatures. We've got more news coming up right after.
Drive into the new year with serious savings and let us lower your payment right here at Sames Ford.
If you're shopping for an SUV that fits your lifestyle and your budget, now is the time to make your move. Right now, get $5,500 off the Bronco Sport, $4,500 off the Ford Explorer, or $4,000 off the Ford Escape. All you have to do is come take a test drive. New year, new you, new SUV.
And that's how you lower a payment. We do it every day right here at Sames Ford.
So you've got these projects on your list. You've been wanting to update your kitchen, organize your closets, and build the backyard oasis of your dreams. But where do you start? Well, projects solved. The Corpus Christi Spring Home and Garden Show is here. Need a reliable contractor? You'll find them at the show. Looking for a landscaping pro? They're here too. Bring your photos, plans, and ideas and meet one-on-one with local service providers.
One place, one weekend, all your projects solved.
Do you want free internet? Forever? You got it. Really. We mean it. Spectrum is offering free fiber-powered internet forever. Want it? Just call this number and switch 4 mobile lines to Spectrum for a lifetime of internet you never pay for. It's not a trial. It's an unprecedented offer. So we'll say it again. Free fiber-powered internet forever. Have you called yet? Because your internet is forever. But this ad ends now.
We interrupt your programming for breaking news. Crazy prices are here. Stop. Take a deep breath. Your tax refund is on its way. Get a 2025 Outlander, 0% or $4,000 rebate and no payments for 90 days. No payments until the end of March. Or a lease for $389 per month. Only at Corpus Christi Mitsubishi, your Mitsubishi headquarters.
Call Sam. He's born to win. Call Sam. He's born to win, to win. Car wrecks. Win. Truck wrecks. Win. Personal injury. Win, win. Call Sam. He's born to win. Call Sam. He's born to win, call Sam.
Welcome back. Hundreds of job seekers and students turned out today in Corpus Christi for the 3rd annual Maritime Career Expo and Job Fair. That event was held at the Solomon P. Ortiz International Center and brought together about 30 maritime companies offering entry-level and advanced career opportunities. Organizers say the expo typically attracts around 250 job seekers and helps connect Coastal Bend residents with long-term jobs in the maritime industry.
We learned a few years ago that we really need a local workforce here. And when we looked at the career fairs and job fairs that happen in the Coastal Bend, there wasn't anything that was really geared toward the maritime community. Reach out to the students, get them familiar with what maritime means, what a career on the water or near the water means.
Workforce leaders say that similar job fairs are held throughout the year across the Coastal Bend.
And Houston Astros players spent part of their day giving back right here in the Coastal Bend, visiting young patients at Driscoll Children's Hospital. The team stopped by this afternoon to meet with children, take photos, and offer words of encouragement during hospital stays. Hospital officials say visits like this help boost morale for the young patients, their families, as well as staff.
It's a little thing for us to do, to spend a little bit of our day to come out here, and it means a lot to them. And, hopefully we can, try to cheer them up, brighten up their day. They're working hard, they're fighting much tougher fights than we've ever had to do.
So sweet. The Astros say community outreach remains a key part of the team's mission, both on and off the field.
And speaking of the Astros caravan, good to see some former Hooks back in the Coastal Bend today. It's a stop that meant more than just baseball. Chris Thomason has more on their visit here next in sports.
New tonight on Kimmel from Only Murders in the Building, Martin Short.
See, I was shocked when they asked me to do the show because, I had no idea you were back on the air.
Plus, Jackson White. New Kimmel tonight on ABC.
Closed captioning of 3 News is brought to you by KIII TV and sponsored by Herman & Herman, always putting you first.
The hustle is over. Slow down. Take a deep breath. Your tax refund is on its way. 2025 Mazda CX-5 or 2025 Mazda CX-50. 0.9%. That's less than 1%. And no payments for 90 days. No payments until the end of March. Or 2026 Mazda 3, only $189 per month lease. Mazda Corpus Christi. Move and be moved.
I was 65 when that accident happened, and we weren't really going that fast, but I guess at that age, it doesn't take much to get hurt. I knew I had to get an attorney, so the force popped in my head. They got me great care, great doctors, and an amazing settlement. And all I had to worry about was getting well. If Jeff was here, I would thank him from the bottom of my heart. He really took care of me.
Okay, now's your chance to tell me yourself. Hey there!
Oh my God, thank you, sir. You really took care of me.
Mission accomplished. We just designed the world's most comfortable sectional with rooms to go, but now we need the perfect name. The Melt. Too vague. The Nap Trap. Tempting, but doesn't describe the features. Fine. The ultra plush, power reclining, head and foot resting, super sofa with USB. Rolls right off the tongue. Come on, just go with the flow. The Flow. Introducing the Flow, our newest, most comfortable sectional only at Rooms to Go.
Start your day right with First Edition News, weekday mornings.
President Trump needs backup in Congress. Texas needs conservative fighter Eric Flores. Eric Flores led operations on our southern border as an Army infantry captain, took on cartels as a federal prosecutor, and Eric never backs down from a fight.
That's why Trump gives Eric Flores his complete and total endorsement. An America First patriot, Eric will never let you down.
I'm Eric Flores, and I approve this message. I'll stand with President Trump, fight and deliver for South Texas.
The 3 News Sports Report is sponsored by Sames Ford.
Good evening, everybody. As you just saw, the Astros caravan in town today. 4 contributors from last year's team making the rounds in Corpus Christi. 3 former Hooks returning to town: Zach Cole, Colton Gordon, and Logan Van Way. Now, Jason Alexander was signed by Houston midseason last year, went 4-2 in 14 games. Cole was a key contributor late in the season, 4 homers in just 15 games. We caught up with Cole at Whataburger by the Bay, Alexander at Driscoll Children's, and both talking about trying to make the 2026 roster out of spring training.
I'm just looking forward to getting back out on the field and just being able to play again. That's what I love to do, and just be whatever the team needs me to be, and hopefully help them win in any way that I can.
Just keep doing what I think I've been doing, which is working hard, doing everything I can to help the team win and focus on winning. And I think that's, at this point, that's all I really focus on. Just whatever I can do to be a role player or piece in the puzzle to help us, move on.
Now, in addition to Whataburger, Driscoll, the Astros also visited the Naval Air Station with Hooks season ticket holders as well at Whataburger Field. Now, pitchers and catchers report to spring training at West Palm Beach, Florida on February 11th. The first full squad workout will be 5 days later on the 16th.
The 3 News Sports Report is sponsored by Sames Ford.
Yeah, so we'll see if those two guys make the roster. Zach Cole, the Astros need outfielders, so definite possibility there. And starting pitching, we'll see Jason Alexander, great fill-in last year, but no, we'll see.
Yeah.
Anything could happen.
Have to wait and see. Always love seeing the Caravan coverage, though.
Oh, yeah, obviously a lot of great Astros fans down here, the Hooks AA team, so yeah, always a popular draw.
And spring training will be here before you know it.
Yes,
I can already feel it.
Football season is officially over for the Texas teams
Houston.
anyway. Basketball's doing pretty well. Spurs, baseball's right around the corner, like you said.
All right.
Okay,
Something to look forward to.
Yep.
the changing of the seasons, and we especially see that with our weather right now.
We've got winter still to talk about in the weather forecast. Winter will be coming in fast by the time we're looking ahead to Saturday. But first, let's talk about your Thursday. It's still kind of spring-like weather here.
It's great.
Yeah, we will see some fog, a chance for a little bit of drizzle early on in the day. 70s in the afternoon, very similar conditions to what we experienced today, and we will see those winds shifting. They'll be out of the north, but very calm, allowing for that fog to develop. So it's overall a patchy dense fog, temperature around 59 degrees tonight. As we head into tomorrow, 77 degrees, muggy and mild is what I keep calling it. We'll be there until the cold front moves in. Winter weather is expected for us. That's mostly just cold air and cold rain. But by the time we get into Sunday morning, that cold rain could potentially transition to freezing rain, which would impact our roads and travel conditions, especially bridges and overpasses. Temperatures 20s and 30s. Wind chills in the teens. So it's important to dress in layers and protect the 4 Ps. That's pets, plants, people, and pipes this time around. Especially by Monday, if we see clearing conditions, Monday will get extra cold. The record on Monday is 23, and we're going 25 for the low. So.
Well, at least it won't be a record.
I mean, it still could be. We're still 4 or 5 days out, so there's still hope we could break the record.
Oh,
Bring the coats out, y'all. Don't put them away just yet. You're going to need them. All right, Carly, thanks so much. That'll wrap up the late edition of 3 News.
Hey, for all of us here, thanks so much for watching. Stay safe. We'll see you again soon.
Continue with us on 3 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.